Hey everyone and welcome. If you're gearing up for any government exam, you already know that previous year questions, or PYQs, are your absolute secret weapon. So today we're going to boost our prep by diving into some of the top questions that you'll see again and again.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to power through all the key sections: reasoning, general awareness, quantitative aptitude, and of course, English. And at the end, we'll tie it all together with some key takeaways and a solid strategy. You ready to jump in? Let's do this.
All right, we're kicking things off with reasoning. Now, you got to remember, this entire section is really just a test of two things: how good your logic is and how fast you can apply it. The quicker you can spot those patterns, the higher you're going to score. Simple as that.
Okay, first one up is a classic number series. We've got 5, 11, 23, 47, and then a question mark. What comes next? This is the perfect time to hit pause and see if you can crack the code yourself before I walk you through it.
So, did you get it? If you spotted the pattern, you're already there. The logic is actually pretty simple and consistent. You take a number, multiply it by 2, and then just add 1. So you take 5 times 2 plus 1, you get 11. You do it again. 11 times 2 plus 1 is 23. So following that exact same pattern, 47 times 2 is 94, plus 1 gives us 95. That means the correct answer is option B.
All right, let's keep the momentum going with our next question. This one is a real staple of the reasoning section, a ranking problem. So you've got a class of 40 students. John is 12th from the top, so what's his rank from the bottom? Give it a quick shot.
For questions just like this, there is a dead simple formula that you have got to burn into your memory. The rank from the bottom is just the total number of students minus the rank from the top plus 1. Don't forget that plus 1. So in our case, that's 40 minus 12, which is 28. Then we add that 1, and we get 29. A simple trick like this will save you so much precious time in the exam.
Okay, let's shift gears now and jump into general awareness. This is a section where you can really rack up the points, as long as you have a solid grip on the key facts. It's not about tricky calculations, it's all about what you know.
Now check this one out. This is a super important question from Indian polity that comes up all the time. Which of these words were added to our preamble by the 42nd Amendment way back in 1976? You can bet this topic is a favorite for exam setters.
The correct answer here is B, socialist and secular. But let's not just stop there, because there's more to know. The word integrity was also added at the same time. This whole amendment is famously called the mini-constitution because it made so many changes. And you have to remember the context. This all happened during the emergency. Knowing these little extra facts is what makes all the difference.
Now let's talk current affairs with something from India's amazing space program. We all heard about the Aditya L1 mission, which successfully entered a halo orbit to keep an eye on the sun. The question is, around what specific point in space did it do that?
And the answer is Lagrange point 1, or L1 for short. So what on earth is that? Well, think of it as the absolute perfect parking spot in space. It's this really unique point between the Earth and the Sun where their gravitational pulls basically cancel each other out. This lets a spacecraft like Aditya L1 just hang out there in a stable position, giving it a non-stop front-row seat to the Sun without having to burn a ton of fuel. Pretty cool, right?
All right, it's time to move on to the section that I know can be a challenge for a lot of people: quantitative aptitude. But hey, don't worry. The real key here isn't just about knowing how to solve a problem, it's about knowing how to solve it fast. And I'm going to show you a few tricks that will help you do just that.
So here we go, a classic problem on averages. You have 19 students and their average age is 17. Then a teacher joins the group and the new average for everyone bumps up to 18. The question is, how old is the teacher? I'm going to challenge you. Try to solve this in less than 30 seconds. Go!
So, let's break down the super fast shortcut. What was the old average? 17. How many people are in the group now? 20. And how much did the average increase by? Just 1 year. So, the formula is simple. Take the old average and add the new number of members multiplied by the increase in average. That's just 17 plus 20 times 1, which gives us 37 years. See? Way faster than doing all the long multiplication.
Okay, next up, a geometry question. Now, I know this might look a bit intimidating at first glance, but I promise you, the solution is all about one very simple, very elegant formula. We're given the angle at the incenter, which is BIC, and we need to figure out the angle at the top, BAC.
This formula right here, this is everything.
The angle at the incenter BIC is always equal to 90 degrees plus half of the opposite angle, which is angle A. All we have to do is plug in the numbers. 125 equals 90 plus A divided by 2. You do a little bit of quick math, and you'll find that angle A is 70 degrees. You have got to commit this formula to memory. It's a real lifesaver.
And now, let's wrap up our questions with the English section. To really do well here, it all comes down to two things: a strong foundation in the basic rules, and more importantly, a really sharp and wide-ranging vocabulary. Let's look at an example. Here's a very common type of question: one-word substitution. You need to find the single best word for an inscription written on stone in the memory of a deceased person. Take a look at the options and see which one feels right.
The correct answer here is B, epitaph. An epitaph is specifically an inscription on a tombstone. Now, a very common point of confusion is the word epigraph. They sound similar, but an epigraph is an inscription on something like a building or a statue. Knowing that tiny little difference is exactly what these vocabulary questions are designed to test.
So there we have it, a quick fire round through all the major sections. But now comes the most crucial part. Let's take everything we've just covered and boil it down into a clear, simple strategy that you can start using in your studies right away.
So here is your action plan. For reasoning, you need to become an absolute master at spotting number series patterns and just memorizing those ranking formulas. For general awareness, zoom in on high-value topics like constitutional amendments and major current affairs like space missions. In quant, commit those shortcuts for averages and key geometry formulas to memory. For English, make building your vocabulary a daily habit. And what's the big picture strategy? Practice PYQs over and over so you can start to see these patterns for yourself.
And as you continue on your preparation journey, I want you to remember this quote from Mark Twain: "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." If you've been waiting for the perfect time to really buckle down, that time is right now. Consistency is your best friend. If you found this explainer helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And hey, drop a comment below and let us know if there's a specific topic